Howdy guys, Patriot here tonight, and wanted to talk about multi-tools. Now, I'm currently using a a Gerber Fisherman, which you probably saw in my EDC backpack series. I just showed it briefly, but I've been looking at different pliers, and I was looking for something with a little bit more strength in the pliers themselves. The Gerber's okay, but it is a needle nose plier, which I'll show you tonight. And so I thought that I would get something a little bit beefier. So I had my eye on that Swiss Army Swiss tool Spirit, and I really like that one a lot. I was also eyeballing the Leatherman Surge, which I also think is a very beefy looking tool, and it's just got some nice features on it. You don't have to open up the tool and so on to get to certain blades, and I kind of like that. It also seems, it's heavy, but it's real strong. But after spending so much time on these various tools, I actually ended up with something completely different, and that is the Sog Power Lock. Now, I hadn't specifically looked at this version, but my brother has been carrying one on the job, and he does a lot of repairs, mechanical repairs on water systems and pool pumps and such. And so this is something that he uses quite a bit, and he's been so happy with it that he got me one, and this was a Christmas present from him. So I was pretty excited to get a multi-tool. I didn't expect this brand because I had been looking at others. Of course, he didn't know that, but I thought that I'd show you a review of this tool. Well, I've only been fiddling around with this tool for a few days now, ever since Christmas, but so far I really like it. It's got the features that I like in a tool, with a combination of, you know, three real important ones on there, being a standard blade, a saw, and a file. Those are real important for me, and so any tool that I get, I would want all three of those on the same tool. So this had them all just by chance, and just to show you the package that it came in, it says contractor grade power lock. It advertises up here one hand opening, which you can do, but you have to be careful. I already smacked the back of my knuckles with it. And it advertises on here ×2 or compound gear leverage, which in fact it is a compounding pivot point, like a bolt cutter would be. And it's a very, very smooth tool. So overall I'm very impressed. And it's got a couple of tools on here that aren't common on a lot of others. And although I haven't used them a lot, we'll give them a try today. So starting with the pliers themselves, they are very smooth. They were a little bit tight when I first took them out of the package, but now they're operating like glass. It's just effortless. And to show you that one-handed opening gig, I'll back out a little bit here so that you guys can see this, and it's just to swing this way and it opens up. I kind of did that in 2 stages. Let's try again. There we go. Hit my knuckle a little bit, but after a while you get the proper feel for it, to where you're not doing it so hard that you're smacking yourself in the hand, or so light that you're not getting it all the way open. So again, you can see the pivot points here. It is a compounding type of gear mechanism, or a compounding pivot point. Very nice, very sturdy, beefy plier fingers with a wire cutter close into the jaws here. See if I can back that with a little dark background. And it has a rounded section of coarse teeth on the pliers, and a small flat section of finer teeth for smaller tasks. As far as the tools go, here's that all-important file I've not used it a whole bunch yet, but I actually I used this single cross, or what would be the word? Not cross-hatched, but the single cut or single stage cut on this side. It actually works pretty good as a nail file, and this other side is cross-hatched, which is going to be good for metals and even woods. So it's fairly sturdy. It's pretty thick and it doesn't have a lot of flex to it, and the end is one big flat screwdriver, and that works really well. The next one is, or the next tool on here is a can opener, which I haven't tried yet, but I might try that before this video is over. I've got a Phillips screwdriver on here that is flat in one direction. Let's see if I can... Yeah, you guys can see that. It's flat in one direction and then opens up into a full number 1, I think, Phillips is the size there. The next tool on here is a flat-bladed screwdriver, smaller than the one that was on the file, and very sturdy, very beefy flathead. The next tool on here is an awl. Now this awl doesn't have a hole drilled through it like a lot of them do. I kind of wish it did, but it's so narrow they were probably worried about strength and chose not to. But it is very sturdy and very chiseled up in the point and very thick. So it's certainly going to be capable of punching through any material that you need to go through. Thick leathers aren't going to be a problem for this. And then my other very important tool here is the saw. This is a small saw, but it's very capable. I was cutting down some small, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch branches with it earlier, and it goes right through them, no problem. Now I'm not going to be out there sawing down trees with this unless it's just a small sapling or something like that. I'll use my larger pocket or folding saw, that Gerber saw that I had in my EDC backpack video. But this is going to be really great for when you're working on a project, small things like campcraft and so on. So that's on one side. I don't remember if I covered this. This plate here covers up the tools and gives your hand a flat surface so that it doesn't dig in your palm or fingers. So it is one extra thing to get out of the way to pull the tools out, but it does work and hasn't bothered me so far.